Morning and Assalamu alaikum. I am grade 3 English literature teacher. First of all, take out page number 59, chapter number 11, The Imposter and the King. In this chapter we have studied that while Edward and Hendon were on London Bridge and Tom Canty was in the great palace and of Westminster, and he was very much enjoying himself because being a prince was an exciting experience for him. Now he was almost forgotten his old life in Fish Street. He was very happy, and he also stopped thinking about his mother and sisters. And but at night he often dreamt about them, and he hoped that they all were fine. But he doesn't want to go back to the Fish Street because he was having too much fun to be as a prince. And he also thought about Prince Edward, but he could do nothing. Meanwhile, everyone was making plans for his coronation in Westminster, and tailors were coming to take the length of his rich clothes. The king's clothes were prepared for the coronation, and the shoe people were coming to take the measurement of his shoes. And although his cupboard was full of beautiful new clothes, but still the coronation was keeping the army of tailors ready to stitch the clothes for him. Hat makers were taking the measurement of his hats. Shoemakers and sword makers were busy to take the measurements of Tom Canty's everything. And so Tom Canty was feeling so special to be as a prince. Now turn your page number 60. In this, the tailors were not only making clothes for Edward, they were also making clothes for all the lords and ladies who were living in the palace. And while his measurements were taking, he was standing patiently, and he was very happy. But he was only wishing that he could go and play out football. The night before his coronation, Tom was asleep in the palace, and Edward, the true king, was standing outside Westminster Abbey, and he was looking here and there. He saw the crowd of people stood there, and he was watching some workmen preparing the church ready for the coronation, and they were also waiting for lords and ladies to arrive in the morning. Now Edward was also waiting. He was waiting for a chance to enter the room quietly. At last a cart arrived which was full of wooden seats, and the people were carrying the seats into the great building. Edward also picked up a seat and made his way to the inside. Now as the it was morning time, and lords and ladies began to arrive in Westminster Abbey. They were wearing rich jewels which were shining like stars, and they took their seats in the Abbey, and beautiful music was playing, and outside the crowd was watching and waiting for the young king to arrive. So that everyone was watching. First the group of soldiers came with the sharp swords. Secondly, the group of pretty girls came who were dancing, and they were having a basket of flowers, and they were throwing flowers at the crowd. Then the king came. A voice called out that the king is coming, and the boy who was Tom Canty appeared, and he was riding a beautiful white horse. His clothes were white and gold, and he was all covered with jewels which were shining like stars. He was also wearing a gold chain round his neck and a small gold crown on his head. Now come to page number 61. The crowd shouted and cheered, "Long live King!" And the boy also waved to the crowd, and the little girls were throwing flowers at his feet and smiling and bowing. Tom Canty was enjoying to be a king now, and he was thinking in his mind, "I wish my friends in Fish Street could see me. What would they think?" Then suddenly he recognized the face in the crowd. That was the face of his mother, who was crying, and she reached towards his horse and seized his hand and told, "My child, my little Tom, But Tom also pretended that he don't recognize this lady, his mother, and he said that I don't know you, and he said that the woman has gone mad. So the soldiers pulled Mrs. Canty, his mother, from Tom. Tom's eyes were filling with tears, but he do not want to reveal in front of everyone, and he was feeling very much ashamed that what has he done with his mother. Now Tom Canty arrived at the Abbey, and he marched across a red and gold carpet. Servants opened the great wooden doors, and Tom walked to the steps. He made his way to the back of the Abbey, where the priest and ministers were waiting for him. Now the music became louder, and the church was filled with a noise like thunder. Tom knelt down, the crown was lifted above his head, the music stopped, and there was complete silence. So we stop here. You go through these pages, and I have shared in your WhatsApp group. So you will do the two references in your copy. First of all, you will make a title page of chapter number 11. Make a title page of chapter 11, The Impostor and the King, and then you will write reference to the context. Hug has stolen everything from me, but this is from the previous chapter. This homework is from the previous chapter. First do this homework and then make a title page of The Impostor and the King. Okay, first do this homework in your copy, reference to the context, and then make a title page of The Impostor and the King, chapter 11. Hug has stolen everything from me. Who said these lines to whom? Hendon to himself. Hendon was very sad at the behavior of Hug, because Hug cheated him by taking hold of his home, his land, and his wife Edith. He said these lines to himself in deep sorrow. Sorrow means sadness. Second reference to the context. First you have already done. This is second, and this is now third. If I leave him by himself, he will get into trouble again. Now who said these lines to whom? Hendon to himself. Hendon was worried about the little friend Edward and was not wanting to leave him alone. He wanted to take him along to London. Now I am repeating again. Do these references to the context in your copies first, and then make a title page of chapter 11, The Impostor and the King. Now this is your homework. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.